I almost stopped using rosemary and clove because I thought it wasn't working. But then I changed one thing in the recipe, and the difference was enough for me to keep using it. This is not the regular rosemary water everybody is posting online. I added an extra ingredient that helps the spray feel less drying, stay on the scalp better, and work more effectively for my hair. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact upgraded recipe, the biggest mistake that can make rosemary spray non-effective. So please watch until the end before you make your own. So these are the ingredients I'm using today. I have my dry rosemary leaves. If you have the fresh ones, that's fine. Rosemary contains carnosic acid, which heals tissue damage, improves cellular generation, and increases microcirculation in the scalp, which means more blood flow and nutrients go straight to your hair roots. Second is clove. Cloves are packed with a compound called eugenol, plus high levels of antioxidants, and eugenol is famous for strengthening the hair shaft and preventing excessive shedding. So when you put them together, you are not just getting a pleasant scent, you are creating a nutrient-dense tonic that tackles hair loss from two different angles. A lot of people use only rosemary and water, and there is nothing wrong with that. But if you have ever used clove water and your scalp felt dry afterward, make sure to watch this video to the end. I measured 1 tablespoon of rosemary leaves and 1 tablespoon of clove. If you are using fresh rosemary, a small handful is fine. You don't need a large quantity because herbal sprays are usually more effective when prepared fresh in small batches. I added rosemary and cloves into a pot and poured in half cup of water. The quantity of water you add will depend on the quantity of the ingredients. I'm not going to boil this. Instead, I'm going to leave it overnight to soak. Now let us talk about the brewing method because you actually have two great options here depending on how much time you have. And whichever method you prefer, it will still work. If you want to keep every single nutrient intact without using any heat on the stove, you can use this exact overnight method that I use in this video. But if you're in a rush and need your spray ready right away, you can use the low heat method or the double boiler method. Some people make the mistake of boiling rosemary for a longer time without knowing they are boiling away the nutrients. Once your infusion is ready, whether you leave it overnight or boil it, look at that deep dark color change because that is pure growth power successfully transferred into the water. Now I'm adding the ingredient that upgrade this recipe, and today I'm using extra virgin oil. I decided to use olive oil because my hair has been feeling dry lately and I wanted this spray to give both scalp stimulation and a little moisture at the same time. If your scalp is dry, flaky, or your hair breaks easily, this oil version may feel more comfortable. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the rosemary and clove water. If you add too much oil, the spray can feel greasy and may weigh the hair down. Oil and water do not mix permanently, so every time you want to use this spray, you must shake the bottle very well. Olive oil is rich in fatty acids and vitamin E, and many people use it to help reduce dryness and improve softness. Now let me show you how to apply this spray. Spray directly onto your scalp, especially around your edges and thinning areas, because these versions contains oil. I don't soak my scalp, I just spray it lightly. After spraying, I massage my scalp gently for about 1 minute. This massage helps spread both the herbal water and the olive oil evenly across the scalp. For my own routine, I use this spray 3 to 4 times a week and wash my scalp when it feels heavy. Let me explain this. Natural remedies do not work the same way commercial products work. When you use herbs like rosemary and cloves, the goal is usually to create a healthier scalp environment first. Healthy hair growth often starts with a healthy scalp. So consistency is more important than using a very strong mixture once. You can use this recipe as a rinse out or as a leave-in. Another important thing is that this spray is not a miracle treatment. I want to be very honest with you because I don't want to create unrealistic expectations. If you have a very sensitive scalp, open wounds on the scalp, severe hair loss, or a diagnosed scalp condition, please do a patch test first and consider speaking with your doctor before using any herbal treatment. This spray can be used on protective styles like as braids. Lightly spread the scalp between the parts, but do not soak the braids because excessive moisture can sometimes cause odor. If your hair is relaxed, you can still apply this spray. If you are watching this video until this point, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And tell me honestly, what is your biggest hair struggle right now? Hair shedding, thinning edges, breakage, dandruff, itchy scalp, or slow growth? If this video was helpful, please like it, subscribe to Give Naturals and DIY, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!